Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. The 4 years since Dominik Mysterio first stepped foot on a WWE ring have been nothing short of transformative. Refusing to work with Rey Mysterio was the turning point in his career. Dominik became a member of the Judgment Day after attacking his father and Edge during Clash at the Castle in 2022. Until Ripley's fame spread, he and Rhea Ripley were a magnet for attention. Dirty Dom eventually turned on Mommy and took a stand with Liv Morgan, the reigning women's world champion. Among today's roster stars, the power couple is often considered to be among the most hated. Rey Mysterio, a WWE Hall of Famer, spoke out about the events building up to Clash at the Castle in Cardiff, Wales. In an interview with Chris Van Vliet, the legendary luchador disclosed that, rather than the father betraying his son, he had proposed the reverse. The Hall of Famer reconsidered his stance after hearing the feedback of his coworkers. Dominik Mysterio's first pinfall win against his father was heavily influenced by Liv Morgan, who believed this would have been the incorrect move, as he was always the babyface in WWE. On Raw from July 8, 2024, it took place during a mixed tag team match. Crown Jewel took place on Saturday in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where Liv Morgan defeated WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax in a major upset. With Raquel Rodriguez, Tiffany Stratton, and Dominik Mysterio interfering, it was the iconic overbooked bout for which WWE is famous. Dirty Dom's diversion gave Morgan the opportunity to win in the end. In his post-match remarks to the WWE Universe, Dominik Mysterio said, "Dirty Dom, meantime, has been hinting that it could be time to finally get even by bringing up a long-buried grudge." He was making a reference to the 2010 feud between Rey Mysterio and CM Punk, in which he had a short role. "Sure, I'll paint a fictional picture of what happened behind the scenes when Dominik Mysterio turned heel in WWE. Wrestling fans were astonished and fascinated when Dominik Mysterio betrayed his father Rey and teamed up with a new, more aggressive character. Dominik went from being a beloved babyface to a defiant heel in the span of one powerful narrative, marking a dramatic shift in his character. But new information from a WWE great suggests that Dominik's heel flip was always a long shot. There were other plots afoot involving the kid of Rey Mysterio, and Dominik's transformation as a villain was a surprising turn in his professional trajectory. Read on to find out how Dominik's persona and career were reshaped by a shocking heel flip in WWE history, which wasn't only a plot point, but a significant change behind the scenes. There was an interesting and distinctive storyline surrounding Dominik Mysterio's entrance into WWE. Since Dominik is the son of the renowned Rey Mysterio, there was already an audience waiting to see the continuation of the Mysterio family name. Dominik, in his first storyline with Seth Rollins, portrayed himself as a tenacious underdog who, despite his inexperience, inherited his family's reputation in wrestling. The youthful Mysterio was quickly embraced by the WWE Universe, who saw him as a representation of loyalty, legacy, and a promising future for the company's elite performers. Everything about Dominik, his appearance, his demeanor, and even his connection to his father, fit the profile of a babyface. Wrestling great Kurt Angle claims that the initial strategy was to have Dominik remain a babyface, establishing himself as Rey's loyal son as he gradually became a rising star in the company. Angle claimed on his podcast, The Kurt Angle Show, that Dominik was always meant to stay as a babyface. No one on the creative crew, including Vince, intended to make him turn heel. Similar to how younger viewers looked up to Rey, the plan was for him to mature into a heroic figure. What then led to the sudden change in plans for Dominik's career, if he was originally intended for a long-term babyface run? The turning moment, according to Angle, occurred during a live event when the audience had a strong response to Dominik's character's accidental prank. In a tag team battle with Rey, Dominik got some unexpected boos, Angle said. It was completely unanticipated and, to be honest, took everyone by surprise. Backstage, however, people started talking about whether or not Dominik could pull off a more sinister, defiant part. Triple H, one of WWE's finest creative geniuses, saw potential in the unintentional boos and wasted no time capitalizing on it. After the bout, Triple H spoke with Dominik and Ray to get their opinions on a possible heel turn, as Angle detailed. In order to gauge Dominik's interest, Triple H floated the idea to him, according to Angle. Dominik welcomed the change, since it was so different from the original idea. The potential was obvious to him, since he is a bright young man. The last stage, after deciding to try Dominik as a heel, was to figure out whose plot and group would best serve to direct his transformation. At this point, Rhea Ripley and Finn Balor's ominous and intimidating group, the Judgment Day, entered the picture. Insiders say that the original plan was for this group to bring in someone else, but once Dominik opted to go in a different way, the producers saw an opportunity to cash in on his surprising connection with Rhea Ripley. When they first started dating, Rhea and Dominik had an incredible dynamic, as Angle put it. It seemed as if I had captured lightning in a bottle. She had an air of self-assurance, edginess, and defiance that he lacked. Their combination seemed logical, and they astonished everyone by maximizing each other's energies. As a result of his involvement with the group, Dominik was able to shed his good kid reputation and reveal a darker, more sinister side to himself. Fans were captivated by the gripping storyline of his betrayal of his father and alliance with the Judgment Day, even if it meant they would boo him. Not only did the heel change shock the audience, but it was also a very personal event for Rey Mysterio. Rey, a legendary figure in the world of professional wrestling, had always dreamed of his kid carrying on the Mysterio family legacy of honor and devotion. On the other hand, he recognized the significance of Dominik's independence and the power of narrative. Rey was first apprehensive about the heel change, Kurt Angle said, because he worried it would hurt his son's career. At first, Rey wasn't sure. Angle remembered. He cared deeply about Dominik and understood the devotion of his followers. Although it was difficult for Rey to turn on him, he trusted his son's intuition and granted his approval. Rey and Dominik collaborated behind the scenes to make sure the plot seemed real. The on-screen scenes were very memorable because the father-son dispute got so personal and genuine for both guys. Dominik threw himself into his new heel image. Wrestling insiders say that Dominik honed his heel psychology by training with legendary wrestlers and veterans of the company, who taught him how to read the audience and generate the maximum heat. Triple H mentored him, teaching him how to use nuances in his speech and body language to boost his character. Being a heel isn't simply about siding with the bad guys, Angle said. Changing one's mindset entirely is what it's all about. Dominik had to figure out how to manipulate the audience and make fun of them in ways that Rey would never dream of. Everyone realized the heel turn was a good move once he picked it up fast. Dominik enthusiastically embraced his villain persona, going to great lengths to annoy his father in bouts and display flagrant disregard for the Mysterio family tradition. Not only did this character change shock fans, but it also demonstrated to WWE brass that Dominik has versatility and could pull off even the most extreme character transformations. A watershed moment in Dominik's WWE career came when he turned heel, enabling him to emerge from his father's shadow and establish his own identity. He now feels at home in his new job as Judgment Day's faction after struggling to do so while serving as Rey's sidekick. His promos are now more aggressive, his bouts are more brutal, and his crowd responses are louder. However, they are more in the form of jeers than applause.